Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So I'm going to talk about something that is very crucial and can be life or death. So stay till the very end of the video. This is for people that are newly sober and they might be freaking out. They might be having a huge range of emotions. They feel like they're on an emotional roller coaster. And they might be freaking out on people, very irritable, getting very angry out of nowhere for no reason over the simplest, smallest things, you name it. Okay. I was there 10 years ago. I was there. I was very emotional. I was crying 1 minute and then laughing and felt pure bliss another minute. And I was a heavy drinker for 16 years. I was getting drunk a lot, every single night, blacked out. And towards the end, I was getting drunk twice a day, believe it or not. And I wasn't eating food anymore. So I was definitely at a rock bottom when I quit. And if you're trying to quit and you are really thick in it and drinking a lot and you get, the shakes and trembles, you might need medical supervision if you want to quit. Okay? Because it is life-threatening if you quit too fast. I could have died, okay? But the last day that I drank, I had 2 beers and I nursed them all day long. And that could have helped me save my life. I'm not saying drink to save your life, okay? I'm just saying I did not quit cold turkey. Like my last day, I had 2 beers. But that still might not work, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to do anything. Just know that if you cut cold turkey, it can be life-threatening if you're really full-blown alcoholic. But anyways, this is for people that are sober. Maybe they've been sober just a day, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe even 60 days to 90 days. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster because you are now feeling all these emotions and senses that you have suppressed for so long by getting drunk. And this is the same with, marijuana. When you get sober, all your emotions come back online. You're not suppressing anything anymore. And so you're going to go through a roller coaster. And the good side of this, new sobriety is you could hit a pink cloud. A pink cloud is like a honeymoon. Okay, it's like the honeymoon stage in early sobriety. You can feel amazing. You can feel bliss. You can laugh at every little thing. But on the flip side of that, you can feel very irritable and angry. So the reason why that is, again, is because a lot of emotions that you've suppressed are coming out. And instead of trying to control it, I suggest that it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to laugh. And just like a toddler learning how to walk, you're learning how to navigate through these very powerful emotions, okay? Because you haven't felt them for so long, they're going to come back online full force, okay? And a lot of people, they freak out and they're like, what's wrong with me? I'm crying, or I'm super angry. I'm yelling at everyone. I got road rage. It's because you're pretty much a baby again. And you're learning how to navigate these very powerful emotions. And they will subside over time. They won't be as intense. But when you're new to sobriety, it is a freaking roller coaster and it can be very scary. Okay? So here's a couple recommendations. Now, I do not go to AA anymore, but I've been to several hundred meetings over my time trying to get sober. But this last time that I got sober, I didn't do meetings. I just stopped going out. Okay, I moved out of the town. I got away from old friends. I removed all the triggers for drinking. And the compromise for me, staying sober, is I lost a lot of old friends. But you have to get rid of anything that triggers you to drink or reminds you of drinking. That includes people, places, and things. You have to get rid of those triggers. If you can move out of the town you're in, that's good. If you can get rid of your old friends that drink, that's even better. You got to change everything. This is life or death. You got to burn the bridge behind you. You can't have anything. You got to burn the bridge. You can't have anything that reminds you of drinking. Okay. And so I'll get to what to do later. But the thing is that, you know, you have to protect your life. And so what I recommend is that you go to 90 AA meetings in 90 days. Here, let me close this door. I got someone's backing up and their backup thing is on. Anyways, so I suggest that you do 90 meetings in 90 days. And you can find your local meetings. If you're in a city, it's very easy to find a local AA meeting. There's probably 4 different locations you can go to. Smaller town, there's still going to be an AA meeting, maybe just 1 location. But all I want you to do is go to the AA meeting, and you can literally sit in the back and not say anything. I just want you to listen to the vulnerability in the room. It will shock you, okay? It's way better than your old friends. I'm generalizing here, okay? People have cool friends. People don't have cool friends. My friends were mean. They bullied me. They picked on me, and they weren't like intellectuals, okay? So when I went to AA the first time, I was blown away at the vulnerability and the honesty and the transparency of these people in these meetings, sharing very personal stories on their journey with alcohol and sobriety. And just the vulnerability will humble you. So I want you to just sit in the back of the room and shut up and sit on your hands. And don't move for an hour and just absorb it, okay? You will be blown away by the transparency and the vulnerability in the room. And there might be some anger, okay? There might be some other people in there that are new to sobriety just like you. So sit on your hands, shut up, and just listen. The next thing you want to do is you want to turn your car keys in, so to speak, your will. Okay, I say that your will are your car keys. You have to turn in your car keys in a what do you call it? In a hypothetical sense. Turning in your car keys means turning in your will. Okay, because your will, which is your free will, got you in all of this mess. Okay, you had free will to drink. You had free will to do anything you want in this life. And there's consequences, okay? And now you're living those consequences. It's your responsibility. You got to take 1,000% accountability for your life right now and realize you're an alcoholic, okay? No one else did this to you. You have to take responsibility. It's easy to project onto others and blame other people and things. I did it. I projected all the time, every single day as an alcoholic. I projected my frustrations and lack of control on other people and everything. My job, my girlfriend, my car, everything was to blame because it was easier to project it onto other things than put it back on me. Okay. So in AA, you realize that, for one, your will is what got you in this mess. So you have to turn your will over. You got to give the keys, you got to turn the keys in. And what you do is you turn your will over to a higher power. If you don't believe in God, you can use anything else. It could be nature. It could be the universe. It could be a tree. It doesn't matter. It could be a light bulb. But you have to turn your will over to the care of God as you understand them. Okay, I'm not talking church here. I'm talking a higher power. You have to get outside of yourself. Okay, you have to turn the car keys in. It's very humbling and it's necessary. Okay. The other thing is stay away from sugar. Okay, sugar is like alcohol. Same thing. And, you know, that can make you more irritable. It can amplify your withdrawals. Okay. here's a controversial thing also. I did change addictions when I got sober. I still had my cigarettes, and I did eat candy. I had M&Ms, okay, and I was watching porn. But over time in sobriety, I got rid of those things. I went from watching porn to being in a healthy relationship with a woman. I went from sugar to stevia. Stevia is more of a fiber. It doesn't register in the body as sugar. You can find really good organic stevia on Amazon. Now, there might be a little bitter aftertaste in the beginning, but you get used to it, and then it's just as good as sugar. The third thing is I quit the cigarettes 2 years into my sobriety. But for, the first year or two, I looked forward to my evening cigarette and my M&Ms and my tea and my cinnamon toast crunch, or cinnamon toast. Okay. I dove into my jobs. I got 2 jobs. I worked from 6 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night. And I had a cigarette. I didn't have a cigarette till in the evening. So I looked forward to my cigarette and some M&Ms after work. That was my treat, okay? Eventually, when I got stronger in sobriety, those things fell away. Now, if you're really freaking out, again, do the 90 meetings in 90 days. Get a sponsor, someone that, you can ask for a sponsor in a meeting. But pre-screen these people, and I'm not saying be too judgmental, and don't read a book by its cover. Someone that you think that might not fit you can actually turn out to be a great match. So don't judge a book by its cover. But you want to meet with these people if you can, or talk to them on the phone and just feel them out. Maybe the first sponsor you find is the right one. Maybe it'll be your second or your third, but ideally you need guidance. You don't want to do this on your own, especially your first 90 days when you're freaking out. Okay. You're going to have to go through the steps. There's 12 steps in AA. The other thing that you can do is, maybe CBD oil will calm your nerves. I was on CBD oil for 5 years. Chamomile tea at night. If you have a lot of anxiety and adrenaline, burn that excess adrenaline out by going for a jog. A runner's high is really phenomenal. Okay. Start out slow. Don't try to run a marathon or 5 miles your first time. Just run down the block and back and stretch and just, be careful. But work your way up to 1 mile and then 2 miles and so forth. And it'll be exhilarating. The other thing is I went to the gym and worked out. And after the workout, I went into the sauna for 20 minutes. A sauna makes you feel amazing. It relaxes you. Again, you got to be careful in the sauna. You can't do 30 minutes your first time. Shoot for 10 minutes. Drink a lot of water before you go. So those are a few things that you can do just to kind of, reduce the anxiety. And it's okay to cry. Okay. I've freaked out so many times, and I would just find a private place and I would bawl it out. I would just cry. Sometimes I freaked out, but right after a freak out, I usually broke down and cried. Try not to take it out on people. Just go to a private, secluded place that's peaceful, ideally. Go to the park. Go to the waterfront. Go to a river. And just sit there and cry. It's okay. You have to cry it out. You got a scared inner child in you that wants to emit these emotions. Okay? Your inner child is confused, scared, and angry, because you've ignored your inner child for the last however long you've been drinking. I drank full blast for 16 years. That inner child in me was very angry and didn't trust me because I'd get sober and then I would relapse. I would get sober and I would relapse. And my inner child just was like, screw you. I can't trust you. And went deep, deep, deep inside of me. But when you get sober, all those emotions of your inner child come out. And you just have to weather the storm and be very compassionate with your inner child, and know that you are in fight or flight right now. And you're in probably feeling a lot of guilt and shame, because alcohol is very demoralizing. You do a lot of horrible things when you're a drunk. I used to piss my pants every night. I've hurt so many people. I was hanging out with homeless people. All right. I was, you know, it doesn't even matter what I did. I'm sure you get the point. It's very demoralizing what we do when we've been drinking for years. So there's a lot of guilt and shame. But you have to realize that it's not our fault. Okay, that deep shame is probably from our childhood, from our parents yelling at us, and we took it personally. Okay, we didn't have healthy boundaries. We were violated. We were scared. We were in fight or flight. My dad had a scary temper. So when I discovered alcohol when I was 17, it was a godsend. It was a miracle. It was like a magic pill. The first time I drank alcohol, that buzz, I was like, what is this? I need more. Okay, because I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I had a lot of shame. Okay, my parents, my dad's scary temper, my friends picked on me, even the teachers at school picked on me. So when I found alcohol, it was my first relief, my first release, besides, you know, masturbation. I was like, what is this? Oh my gosh. But eventually the alcohol turns against you, and it takes more than it gives you. And then you're left shaking in a dark room with no life, like me. I mean, it depends on your bottom, how far you go. I thought alcohol would make me more sociable. It did the first couple years, but then it turned against me, and I hated people deep into my alcoholism. I hated people. I hated myself. I was crying every other week. You know, I was hallucinating almost. Withdrawals, you know, sipping beer at 4 a.m. just to sleep another hour. Vomiting every morning, trying to hold down a beer to get rid of the hangover. Chasing the hair of the dog, or whatever it's called. Very demoralizing, you know. Wearing stinky clothes, not trimming my nails, not showering. Hurting people, just waking up and people telling me what I did. Horrible things. So when you get sober, you have all this shame and guilt. There's a great book called Healing the Shame That Binds You. Healing the Shame That Binds You. And you'll realize that you have deep, toxic shame. And it's not your fault. It probably happened because someone yelled at you when you were a kid. And you took it so personally that you thought you were flawed. Not what you did was flawed. You thought you were the flaw, not what you did. So when my dad yelled at me, I took it so personally. I was a very sensitive boy. Little towhead running around smiling, you know, in Southern California. Hi, how's it going? How's it going? And then my dad spanked me so hard when I was 4. I was like, what just happened? What just happened? And I couldn't trust my dad anymore. I mean, I was shocked. I mean, he wailed on me because I picked up a piece of fiberglass in a boatyard. You know, we stopped for a piss break. And he was like, don't touch that fiberglass. And I picked it up. You know, kids do the opposite. And he wailed on me. And I dribbled in my pants. I was embarrassed. The cars were going by. And at that moment, I was like, what just happened? This is an evil world. And it didn't stop there. So as I got older, my self-esteem was so low it attracted more of that attention in school. So my friends picked on me. And then the teachers. There was teachers that literally punched me. This is in the 80s when they could get away with it. So when I was 17 and tasted alcohol for the first time, it acted like speed. All the weight of the world lifted off of my shoulders, and it felt like speed, and I became manic. And I was just like, for several years, I was hyperactive, and alcohol made me, and I did stupid things, ripping off bikes from backyards and drinking and driving and staying up all night and making my hair a mohawk and drawing on myself and, just being a goofball. And, but eventually the party was over. The party was over. Every night it became a nightmare. What am I going to do tonight? I'm not going to remember. Every night I was going to black out. I knew it. I made a game out of it. I'm like, what am I going to do tonight? This is probably the last minute I'll remember. Tomorrow I'll wake up and have to reassess, and people are going to tell me what I did. A lot of it was bad. So you're going to have a lot of shame. And, you're going to have to make amends where you can. Do the 12 steps. Write down all the crap you did and burn it with a sponsor. It's very liberating to write down everything you did and burn it with a sponsor. But you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. It's not your fault. A lot of the reason why we drank is because we wanted to soothe what was hurting deep inside. We didn't know it at the time. I thought it was just fun. I thought the buzz was just fun. It felt great. But deep down, I felt like crap. I felt like I was broken. I had a lot of shame. And that alcohol filled that shame for a little while. But then alcohol created a whole bunch of new problems. And it almost killed me several times. Had a heart attack when I was 32. Drank and drove hundreds of times. Hurt people. Got thrown into the drunk tank several times. Even the cops were like, we don't know what he's saying. I mean, I got psychotic. It wasn't me anymore. It was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And there was times when I knew that the demons took over. In fact, my most popular video on this channel is my demon alcohol video. Check that one out. I hurt someone one night and I was wasted, but my mind was clear and something took over me because the way I acted wasn't me. My thoughts were not mine. I swear to God. And it was extremely scary because the thoughts I had were very homicidal, to put it lightly, and I got joy about thinking that way, and that was not me. And then I popped back in and I started to cry for like 2 minutes. And then which one's the bad one? Dr. Jekyll? No, Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde came back in, aka the demon, started thinking those suicidal or homicidal thoughts again. I could take this person's life. And it got excited. And that happened 3 times. I laughed and then cried, and laughed and then cried, and then laughed and cried. And it was a struggle between me and Mr. Hyde. But I kept drinking after that. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I won't drink again. A couple months later, I'm drinking, and it's worse than ever. So, yeah. So let me see if I covered all of this. So you got to do 90 meetings in 90 days. Get a sponsor if you can. Quit the sugar. Try CBD oil. Get some chamomile tea. Meditate if you can. If you got a lot of adrenaline, work out, jog, get it out of your system. Eat healthy, organic. You don't want to get angry or hungry. Hungry, tired, or angry. There's acronyms. There's lots of acronyms in AA. You'll discover lots of little sayings. and they can really help you. Okay, things like thy will be done, not mine. Like, it's God's control, not yours. Okay, you gotta let go. Stinking thinking. Okay, stay away from being hungry or angry or tired. Try to reduce those zones. You know, if you're hungry, eat something right away. And slowly but surely you can mend your life, but you gotta forgive yourself and stay away from old friends, old places, people, places, and things that remind you of drinking. Your friends might pretend they support you in your sobriety, but they really don't. They're just waiting for you to relapse again so they can party with you. They might say little things like, you were so fun when you drank though. Why do you want to quit? You got to get rid of those friends. I don't care. I don't care how friendly they are. Okay? They're just waiting for you to destroy your life. They don't care. You know? When you get sober, they'll find other drinking friends. They really don't care. Okay? They might say, I love you. Come on, just a drink tonight. Just one more time. Treat them like the enemy. Okay? I'm serious. This is life or death. Burn the bridge. Get rid of your old friends. Move out of the town you live in. If you're in a city, move across town, city, where no one sees you. It's all new people. All right? I moved across America. Got rid of all my old friends. I don't have any friends left. That's the only downside for me. Now, I could go out and make new friends, but I have a fiance. I'm perfectly fine with my fiance, our 15-year-old cat, and a couple friends online like you guys. So keep the comments coming. I hope this helped. How are you doing in sobriety? Leave a comment, please, please, please. And that's it. There's lots of variables. There's so many things you can do, but that's the general idea. And again, you're going to have the emotions of a 10-year-old. Okay, you're mentally stunted from all the drinking and drugging. When I got sober, I was basically a 20-year-old in a 40-year-old body. But my inner child was even younger and very angry. I had a lot of shame, and I had to get rid of the shame. You get rid of the shame, you're good to go. Again, the ebook is called Healing the Shame That Binds You. It's kind of long, but he's got lots of different techniques. And you'll discover that it's not your fault. Okay, we all make mistakes. That's how we learn. Humans make errors. To be human is to err, or whatever the frickin' quote is. Okay, I love you guys. Have a good weekend. Have a good whatever day you're watching this, okay? If it's the weekend, stay home. Do yourself a favor. Get sober right now. Don't postpone it anymore, because every time you drink, you're playing with your life. You could literally die at any moment if you drink. God bless.